bloopers that have appeared in the bulletin, or they've been done as an announcement, like
No, it's
Laura always
working.
says, the
I just
announcements
didn't
after
have it
minutes. So we're going to intersperse those as if they're actually announcements to you. And I think, Patsy, are you here someplace, Patsy? Would you come up, and you've got the first one, I think. But no. By the way, I should tell, Patsy Gurn is the owner of, she's our person, of course. We work together pretty closely. She's the owner of the Shoestring Theater. Anyway, but she's just been wonderful. If any of this design or costuming, it's always Patsy's doing. So Patsy, give us a couple of those bulletin bloopers so we know we're not the only culprits.
The announcements. This coming Thursday night, our social committee will be hosting their semi-annual potluck supper. Prayer and medication will follow. Miss Charlene Mason sang, "I will not pass this way again," giving obvious pleasure to the congregation. The 8th graders will be presenting Shakespeare's Hamlet in the church basement Friday at 7 p.m. The congregation is invited to attend this tragedy. Bertha Belch, a missionary from Africa, will speak tonight at Calvary Memorial Church in Racine. Come tonight and hear Bertha Belch all the way from Africa.
Thank you. See, they're not so bad sometimes, huh? I mean, I wrote the bulletin articles for 5 years, and I made a lot of dumb mistakes too. I never went that far, I don't think, thank goodness. But anyway, hey, now, let's introduce you to our cast. Let's get the cast out here for Zena and Zach and the Sack of Gold, okay? That'll be this is one of our dramatic presentations, very serious drama. This is right under Shakespeare, actually pretty far under the bridge, quite frankly. Anyway, but you know, we look, this is Patsy came up with this. She does a thing called Reader's Theater, where the actors try to convey the play by reading it, but they try to convey it with their face. There's not much motion, but and there's not much work either. So if you ever want to consider joining our movie and drama ministry, we could use everybody. We're looking to do sort of a thing for Christmas, cookies and carols, and we want to do a passion play. We can always use new members. We got a few this year. We feel real good about that. And you'll see when we do this, we just have a lot of fun. It doesn't make a lot of sense, and it's not that difficult to do. If it's real challenging, we just pass on it, you know. So anyway, let me introduce you to then, and we'll give you one of the mics here, to Zena and Zach and the Sack of Gold. And we have Carl and Margaret will be our narrators. Okay, let's begin.
Welcome to our production of Zena and Zach and the Sack of Gold. You, the audience, will have an opportunity to play an important part in the story.
You certainly will. You're going to be playing the forest spirits.
Now, you may not know this, but all forest spirits sound a little like sheep. Thank you. We didn't even ask for it.
Okay, let's practice making the sound of the forest spirits. A little bit more spirit. That certainly is great.
I see you're all in good spirits tonight.
That's for sure. Most of us wouldn't want to be seen in public doing that. So.
But thank you for making our skit possible.
No forest spirits, no skit.
We'd have to pack our bags and go home, so thank you.
Now, please listen for your cue. Here it is. When you see us do that, you must jump right in with the sound of the forest spirits.
So let's all try it once again, please.
Thank you. That was just great.
Thank you. Now we can begin. There once was a farmer.
Who had a wife.
Did you hear about Karen's cow, Bessie? She's sick.
Did you hear about Bessie's cow, Karen?
She's had a calf.
Did you hear about Karen's cat? She's got two, and one of them is sick. Did you hear about Zena's cow? Her cow Karen has a sick calf. One day, Zach was in the forest chopping wood for his wealthy but mean and stingy landowner when he split a hollow log, only to find a very old and worn but very large bag of gold inside the log.
A treasure! That is one large bag of gold. It must have been here for 100 years. I'll take it home. No, I better leave it here.
Zach was afraid that his wife, who loved to gossip, would tell everyone that he had found a bag of gold in the forest.
Hello, wife. I have something to tell you. But you can't tell anyone.
Oh, of course. I'm good at keeping secrets.
I found a bag of gold in the forest today. Now, don't tell anyone.
My Zach found a bag of gold in the woods.
Zena's Zach found a bag of gold in the meadows.
A lot of gold was found in the forest near the meadow by Zena.
Zach and Zena are rich.
The gossip about Zach's discovery reached the landowner. He commanded Zach to appear before him.
You can tell me exactly where you found a bag of gold that your wife says you found on my property.
I haven't found anything, sir. My wife, she's always telling strange tales.
Well, bring her here tomorrow. Let her tell her own story.
That night, Zach came home late.
Wife, would you please fry me up some of those delicious pancakes that you make? I'm so terribly hungry from a long day's work.
This is a strange time to eat, dear, but if you're really that hungry.
Zena made piles and piles of pancakes.
Those are so delicious. Can I have a few more, please?
Zena made more and more pancakes. Zach did eat some, but hid most of them in a knapsack at his side.
That's enough pancakes for tonight, dear. Thank you so very much. I'm finally full. Let's go to sleep.
Good night, Zach, my dear.
Good night, Zena, my love.
The next morning, Zach woke up very early.
Good morning, Zena. I'm going out now to check my hunting and fishing traps.
Zach made the rounds of his traps. First he went to the river and looked at his fishing net.
Oh, wonderful. Here's a nice fat fish.
Next, Zach looked in his animal trap in the forest.
Oh, wonderful. Here is a nice fat hare.
Then Zach put the fish in his animal trap, and he went back to the river to put the hare in the fish net.
There. That's a good day's work.
On the way home, Zach took the pancakes he had stored from his knapsack and put them in the branches of all of the trees.
Hello, Zena. Don't tell anyone, but today we're going to go find that treasure.
We're going to get our gold today.
Did you hear that the treasure will be found today?
Zena is going to ask Zach to go with her to find treasure.
What treasure?
Zach and Zena walked along the path. Zena kept looking up at the trees.
Look, Zach. There are pancakes growing in the trees.
Zach took Zena to look at his animal trap.
A fish is caught in a trap in the forest. That is strange.
Zach put the fish in his knapsack.
Let's see if there's anything in the fish net.
hid the treasure.
Here's the treasure. Help me carry it home, my dear Zena.
In front of the landowner's house, a group of sheep were grazing.
What is that?
Oh no, honey! Those are the forest spirits! Run home, quick! We gotta escape them!
As soon as Zena and Zach got home, they counted the gold in the sack.
Now that's a lot of gold, my wife.
We are rich, dear husband.
Yes, but let's be sure to keep this to ourselves.
Of course, dear. That goes without saying. We just found a lot of gold.
Zena has lots of gold.
Zach has a lot of gold.
Zach and Zena are rich.
That evening, Zach took Zena to the landowner's house.
I hear you found gold in the forest. Everyone is talking about it. They heard it from your wife, Zena.
Oh, no, sir. My wife is a bit strange. You know, I love her very much, but she's a bit strange.
Zena, did you and your husband find gold in the forest?
Yes, sir.
Aha! Tell me about it.
Okay, well, first we walked along the path where the pancakes are growing in the trees.
Pancakes?
And then we took the fish out of the animal trap.
A fish?
And then we took the hair out of the fish net.
A hare?
Yes, sir.
In a fish net.
And then we found the gold.
Aha! The gold.
But then we heard the forest spirits near your house, so we ran home as fast as we could.
Forest spirits.
I told you that my wife tells a lot of strange stories.
And the landowner just shook his head.
You'd better take your wife home. She needs a long rest. She's seeing and hearing things.
So Zach took Zena home where they used the gold to live comfortably ever after.
And the townspeople are still gossiping about it to this day.
Did you hear Zena and Zach found a fish in an old tree?
They found a few hairs in their pancakes. Nonsense. They're living out their golden years in an empty log in the forest.
And still, on a clear night in that forest, you listen real carefully and you can still hear those forest spirits calling.
The end.
Now, see if you had any doubts about whether any of you could be involved in the movie drama. I think those dispelled those doubts. You know, you got to have a certain qualification. You got to be able to sing to be in the choir. You got to have some kind of spirituality to be on the worship commission. You know, you have to know something about the faith to be in education. I think movie or drama is about the only place in the world you have to have no talent whatsoever, and you are more than welcome. You know, so that's very typical. So that was kind of fun. Look, the other thing is we try to get as many young families or kids involved as we possibly can, and it's difficult. Those of you who are younger, have young kids, you know how difficult that can be between sports and dance and gymnastics or whatever, academics, you know. It's kind of tough. So what we did was, we couldn't get the kids up here because there's barely any time for rehearsal. So we got them together after Mass, after the children's Mass, and we went to a couple of classrooms and we shot a couple of kids' prayers. And Doug, can you fire that up, do you think? We just made a quick video, it's very short, but we had the kids say some prayers, at nighttime prayers. And of course it's staged, but it's kind of fun. And the kids are cute, but you'll find that when they're not used to talking on the video so much, so they're kind of quiet. So I just put in all the words so you can read it as well. Okay? So let's see what the kids have. Can we turn the lights off?
say our night prayers and then we'll get ready for bed.
Dear God, the universe missed a star. Too bad the stars didn't miss.
Dear God, I wish you would not make it so easy for people to fall apart. I had to get 3 stitches and a shot.
How about we say our night prayers and then get ready for bed?
Dear God, my grandpa says you were around when he was a little boy. How far back do you go?
Say our night prayers, okay? In the name of the Father, the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. All right, Julian, start.
Dear God, I didn't think orange went good with purple until I saw the sunset on Tuesday night. That was cool.
Okay, Austin, your turn.
Dear God, who do I pray to when you go on vacation?
Size, your turn.
Dear God, a family and Bible kind. Dear God, I heard the moon was made of cheese. Tonight was a half moon. Did you get hungry? Is Father Theo a friend of yours, or do you just know him through the business?
When you get used to working with kids, that's what's it, about a minute and a half, 2-minute movie, something like that. It took us about an hour to film that, you know. But the kids were great. They were really neat. They were a lot of fun, very patient. And by the way, I never realized Barb Hargan had that many grandkids. You know, like those things, wow, holy cow. And, you know, is Linda here? Linda, the mother who was in there with her 4 boys? I didn't see, but I don't think she is. But, you know, I went up to her, the African-American woman, great lady. I went up to her a month ago. I said, hey, you know, your boys are always dressed to the nines. It's so cool, I think, that, you know, I'm one of 5 boys and a girl. And the girl always looked great. The 5 of us were pretty much disheveled. And my mother probably went to an early grave, quite frankly, probably because of it. But they come in here, and the 4 boys are dressed in those suits, and I thought, she must get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to get them started on that. You know, it's really neat at the 11 o'clock mass. But when I asked her, would you consider doing a little video? She said, yeah, why don't you just come to our, we say prayers together all night, every night anyway. And I thought, how cool is that, you know? So it's kind of neat. So anyway, I forgot my schedule to see what's up next.
Bloopers.
Oh, yeah, bloopers. Okay, we got to have, Dave is coming up, I think. Right, Dave? You got a minute? Okay?
No.
No. And that's the kind of cooperation you get used to with him. All right. By the way, if you're somebody who is a little bit nervous about doing drama and you think you can handle maybe 1 line, no more than 7 syllables, we're the guys for you. Good enough, Dave? Thank you.
The peacemaking meeting scheduled for today has been canceled due to conflict. A bean supper will be held Tuesday evening in the church hall. Music will follow. The sermon topic for this week will be, what is hell? Come early and hear the choir warm up. The peacemaking meeting scheduled for today has been canceled due to a conflict.
Thank you, thank you. This next sketch is done by Eleanor. Eleanor, I think, Eleanor's about 130 now, and she's been doing this for the last 90-some years, and she's always great. Every time I do anything, it's a hairpin idea, she goes, yeah, we could try that. She's really neat to work with. So they put together, this is probably the only thing besides our opening prayer that has anything to do with spirituality, but it's kind of neat. I think you'll enjoy this. So Eleanor, and come on out. I think she's doing this by herself, unless she gets a guest. We'll see, okay? Okay, I can just... Eleanor, can you hold the mic, okay? These are nice stands, you know, they're pretty much worthless, but they're really helpful.
One of the things I always say to people like my age, you know, when your age, you can't do blah, 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 blah. So, blah, blah is sitting down. Blah, blah is not remembering too well. So, I am going to read, because I can't remember. But I wanted to say a special prayer tonight, and hopefully I can do it with good grace. Our Father, who art in heaven.
Yes.
Oh, I can't see you. Don't interrupt me, I'm praying.
But you called me.
Called you? I didn't call you. I'm praying. Our Father, who art in heaven.
There, you did it again.
Did what?
Called me. You said, Our Father, who art in heaven. Well, here I am. What's on your mind?
But I didn't mean anything by it. I was, just saying my prayers for the day. I always say the Lord's Prayer. It makes me feel good. Kind of like fulfilling a duty.
Well, all right. Go on.
Okay. Hallowed be thy name.
Hold it right there. What do you mean by that?
By what?
By hallowed be thy name.
It means, good grief. I don't know what it means. How in the world should I know? It's just part of the prayer. By the way, what does it mean?
It means honored, holy, and wonderful.
Hey, that makes sense. I never thought about what hallowed meant before. Thanks. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven.
Do you really mean that?
Well, sure, why not?
What are you doing about it?
Doing? Well, nothing, I guess. I just think I would like to be kind of neat if you could help control everything down here as you have up there. We're kind of in a mess down here,
Yes, I know. But have I got control of you?
I go to church.
That isn't what I asked you. What about your bad temper? You really got a problem there, And then there's the way you spend your money, all on yourself. And what about the kind of books you read?
Now hold on just a minute. Stop picking on me. For heaven's sakes. I'm just as good as some of the rest of those people at church.
Excuse me, I thought you were praying for my will to be done. If that is to happen, it will have to start with the ones who are praying for it, like you, for example.
Oh, all right. I guess I do have some hang-ups. Now that you mention it, I could probably name some others.
So could I.
I haven't thought about it very much until now, but I really would like to cut out some of those things. I would like to know, you to know, and be really free.
Good. Now we're getting somewhere. We'll work together. You and me. I'm proud of you.
Look, Lord, if you don't mind, I need to finish up here. This is taking a lot longer than it usually does. Give us this day our daily bread.
You need to cut out the bread. You're overweight as it is.
Well, hey there, now just wait a minute. What is this? I am doing my religious duty, and all of a sudden you break in and just ruined my mind with all my hang-ups.
Praying is a dangerous thing. You just might get what you ask for. Remember, You called me, and here I am. It's too late to stop now. Keep praying. Well, go on.
I'm scared too.
Scared of what?
I know what you'll say.
Try me.
Forgive us our sins as we forgive those who sin against us.
What about Carol?
See? I knew it. I knew you would bring her up. Why, Lord, she has lied about me, spread stories. She never paid back the money she owes me. I've sworn I'd get even with her.
But your prayer. What about your prayer?
I didn't mean it.
Well, at least you're honest. But it's quite a load carrying around all the bitterness and resentment, isn't it?
Yes. But I'll feel better as soon as I get even with her. Boy, have I got some plans for her. She'll wish she had never been born.
No, you won't feel any better. You'll feel worse. Revenge isn't sweet. You know how unhappy you are. Well, I can change that.
You can? How?
Forgive Carol, then I'll forgive you, and the hate and sin will be Carol's problem, not yours. You will have settled the problem as far as you're concerned.
Oh, you know, you're right. You always are. And more than I want revenge, I want to be right with you. All right. I forgive her.
There now. Wonderful. How do you feel?
Well, not bad. Not bad at all. In fact, I feel pretty good. You know, I didn't think I'd go to bed tonight. I'll be able to sleep. I haven't been getting much sleep lately, you know.
Yeah, I know. But you're not through with your prayer, are you? Go on.
All right. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil.
Good. I'll do that. Just don't put yourself in a place where you could be tempted.
What do you mean by that?
You know what I mean.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, go ahead. Finish your prayer.
For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen.
Do you know what would bring me glory? What would really make me happy?
No, but I'd like to know. I want to please you now. I've really made a mess of things. I want to truly follow you. I can see how great that would be. So, tell me, how do I make you happy?
You just did.
Wow. Thank you.
Thank you, Eleanor. You know, it takes a lot of guts to be talking to God in front of everybody like that. I don't think I could have the courage to do that, my gosh. But anyway, I think maybe probably Eleanor had a life after life experience and that actually had happened, so she just wrote the script down, which is kind of neat. So anyway, you know, you may already know this, but if you're here a lot, we've got two of the neatest guys who are maintenance guys here, Dave and Wally. Well, Wally, anyway, but just kidding. Anyway, yeah, but Walt, you may not know this about Walt Kaptanowski though, but he is a die-hard baseball fan. Tigers, yes, but baseball altogether. And he gave me a poem once, a couple of years ago, and I was working here, and I said, Walt, this is really kind of cool. So I'd asked him if he would consider reading that during this. And Walt, would you come up and render this poem? And I hope you'll give us a little bit of introduction so they understand the background. It's kind of cool, okay? At least we have one Halloween costume, huh? Turn the lights on, the house lights, maybe?
Thank you. Thank you, John, for the gracious introduction. And I don't know why I agreed to it, but he finally convinced me to come up here to do this. Sorry, John. Normally I don't dress like this except on special occasions such as this or when I'm on the ball field playing baseball. I think it's important and it's appropriate that I mention what inspired me to write this poem entitled In the Eyes of a 12-Year-Old Boy, and to tell you that the gentleman referred to on the second to the last line of my poem, Illich, Mr. Illich, Dombrowski, and Osmus. One is deceased, Mr. Mike Illich, he left us, and Mr. Dombrowski and Mr. Osmus have gone to other venues. They were replaced by the son, Illich, and Al Avila is the general manager, and Ron Gardenhire is the team manager. This was all inspired by my loving wife, Cindy, sitting right there, who knew I cared so much about the game of baseball that she took it upon herself to plan and organize sending me to Detroit Tigers fantasy camp in Lakeland, Florida. It was a week-long event. She and a host of other people were considerate enough to pool their resources. She did the organizing, and they also contributed a lot of money. And it was on my birthday in 2013, in October, that they presented me with a present, all wrapped up nicely. And I opened it up, and the first thing that came out of there was a certificate inside of a plaque stating that Walt Kaplanowski is going to be part of the 2014 Detroit Tigers fantasy camp. And I was in shock, number one, and then the first words that came out of my mouth were, "This is way too much." Well, my mother-in-law, excuse me, she quickly responded by saying, "Wally, just shut up and enjoy it." Who am I to argue with my mother-in-law? But I will be frank, there were many times where I was tempted to call the director of fantasy camp and say, "Jerry, I can't do this, this is too expensive." But I was forewarned if I did that, I would have broken her heart, because she did a lot of planning and organizing and just kept it secret from me too. I didn't want to break her heart, so I did it. Getting back to the title of In the Eyes of a 12-Year-Old Boy, the reason I chose that title was because think back when you were 12 years old, we had very few cares in the world. In my point, when I was 12 years old, I cared about baseball. I was very fortunate, and God granted me two very loving parents who were very hardworking, which allowed me to be a child, to have a good childhood, which unfortunately a lot of children today don't have that. So like I said, I'm very fortunate that God granted me these parents. Once again, the poem is In the Eyes of a 12-Year-Old Boy. I viewed this venture with wide-eyed anticipation, uncertain of all that would occur in this unique vacation. A venture secretly planned by my loving wife, with support from a host of others that touched my heart and life. Yes, the competitive spirit drove me as far as the body allowed, but it was as importantly to make the special group equally proud. As baseball campers, we arrived from parts of Canada and United States, awaiting the opportunity to enter the fantasy gates. Upon bridging the threshold of these whimsical gates, we were transformed into ball players baseball determining our fates. Shaking off the winter and stresses of our respective occupation, probably adorned in the English D, and playing ball in our vocations. Of course, being in the presence of former Tigers too numerous to list, a rare opportunity that so many others have sorely missed. To mingle and consult with those who partnered in the Major League dance, wishing that we would be granted just one more chance. This wish comes true once setting foot on those immaculate fields, the same hallowed ground that produced past, present, and future Tigers yields. Here too are where new friendships were made, sharing the bond of memories that will never fade. By week's end, my body was tired and the legs were quite sore, but the gratifying experience lifted my Tiger spirit to soar. I salute the fellow campers and the Tigers organization for the compliments, assistance, and camp coordination. And to Misters Illich, Dombrowski, and Osmus, a special invitation. I'm only a phone call away from your starting rotation.
Thanks a lot, Wally. Boy, there's a lot of hidden talent in the parish. That's all this whole group is really trying to bring out to everybody. And give them a chance to kind of do what they do well. I just found out Robert this year. I just found out at Coffee and Donuts the other day that Robert has quite a talent also that we'll have to tap the next time we get together. But hey, by the way, as long as we're speaking about baseball, some of you have met my son Luke, and I got to tell you, Luke just joined the minor league club. Luke, come up for a minute, would you please? That'd be great. Good night. Not bad. It's kind of a neat thing, and I played some ball. We all played ball as a kid. But here, try this paper wood. Okay?
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah, is that working? Yeah, that's pretty cool. But you know what? I'm so proud of you for doing that. And in fact, when the spring comes, I would love to go watch you guys play ball. That'd be terrific. But what would be cool, I think, is if I could get to know the names of the guys on the team.
Well, that's the thing about baseball. They all got like these funny names.
Oh yeah, well Walton was there. We had a lot of funny names when I was a kid too. So what are the names of the guys in your team?
All right. Well, let's see. On the bags, we've got who's on first, what's on second, I don't know's on third.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to find out.
Well, I just said who's on first, what's on second, I don't know's on third.
Luke, wait a minute. Are you on this team?
Yeah.
You don't know the names of the guys on the team?
Well, I should.
Well, then tell me. Who's on first?
Yes.
No, the guy's name. Who? The first baseman. Who? The guy playing first. Who? The guy playing first base. Who? The guy on first base.
Who is on first?
What are you asking me for? I'm asking you who's on first.
That's the man's name.
That's whose name?
Yes.
Listen, you got a first baseman?
Certainly.
Who's on first?
Yes.
You're minor league. When you guys start playing, they're going to pay you. When they pay the first baseman, who gets the money?
Oh, every dollar of it.
Who does? Look, let me, all I'm trying to find out is the name of the fella on first base.
Who?
The guy on first base.
Who?
The guy they're going to pay the money to. Yeah. Who? The guy who gets the check. Who gets the money?
He does, every dollar. Sometimes his wife will come in and grab it for him.
Whose wife?
Yes. What's wrong with that?
All I'm trying to find out is, look, when you guys sign the roster, somebody has to sign it. And when the first baseman signs it, how does he sign his name?
Who?
The guy who signs the roster.
Who?
This guy.
That's how he signs it.
That's how who signs it?
Yes.
Look, all I'm trying to find out here is what's the name of the guy playing first base?
No. What's on second?
I'm not asking you who's on second.
Oh, who's on first?
One base at a time, all right?
Well, quit switching the players around.
I'm not switching anybody around.
All right. Take it easy.
Who's on first?
Yes, that's right.
Okay. Look, all I'm trying to find out, Luke, is what's the name of the guy playing first base?
No. What is on second base?
I'm not asking you about second base.
Oh, who is on first?
I'm not asking who's on second.
Who's on first?
Look, let's try that again, okay? I'm not asking you who's on second.
Who's on first base?
Okay, don't confuse, don't, one base at a time, don't get them confused for crying out loud, all right? All right, now, let's try it again. Who's on first base?
That's right.
I'm just trying to find out what's the name of the guy on first base.
No, what's on second?
I'm not asking you who's on second.
He's on first.
I don't know.
No, he's on third. We're not talking about
How did I get on third base?
him. You mentioned the man's name.
I mentioned the man. If I mentioned the third baseman's name, then who did I say is playing third base?
No, who's on first?
I don't know who's on first. I don't know.
He's on third.
Oh, now I'm back on third base. I'm back on third base again. Jeez. Look, let's see here.
You want to just stay on third base? Maybe that'll be easier.
Yeah, all right, let's do that. And don't get off it, all right? I got to know about third base.
All right, what would you like to know?
All I want to know is, who's the guy playing third base?
No. Who's playing first?
I don't know.
He's on third.
I'm back on third again? Stay on third again. All right. Who's the guy playing third base?
No. So you're doing it again. Who's on first?
Who's playing first?
Why do you insist that who's going to be on third?
I'm just trying to find out what the guy's name is on first.
But what's on second?
Who's on second?
Who's on first?
I don't know.
He's on third.
Third base again. All right. Let's see here. All right. How do I get this? Let's see here.
How about we just switch to the outfield?
All right. You got an outfield?
Yeah, certainly.
All right. The left fielders.
Why?
I just thought I'd ask.
I just thought I'd tell you.
All right, go ahead. Now just tell me who's playing left field.
Now, who's on first?
Stay out of the infield. I'm trying to find out what's the guy's name who's playing left field.
What's on second?
I don't know.
What's on third?
Jeez. Back at third base. Let's try this again. Left fielder's name?
Why?
Because.
Oh, well, he's center field.
Oh, Luke, you guys got a pitcher on this team?
Oh, yeah, sure.
All right, the pitcher's name?
Tomorrow.
You don't want to tell me today?
I'm telling you right now.
So go ahead.
Tomorrow.
What time?
What time what?
What time tomorrow are you going to tell me who's pitching?
No, who's on first?
I'll break your arm, you ask me who's on first again. All right, I'm not going. Look, you guys got a catcher?
Yeah, of course.
All right, the catcher's name?
Today.
Today is the catcher, and you got tomorrow pitcher.
Now you got it.
You got nothing. You got 2 days on the team. I used to be a pretty good catcher myself when I played.
Yeah, so they tell
All
me.
right, let's just say that I'm catching for your team. A guy gets up, he bunts the ball. I go in front of him, I grab the ball, and I want to throw him out at first, so I throw the ball to first base. Now, who's got the ball?
Now, that's the first thing you said right.
I don't even know what I'm talking about.
That's all you got to do.
Throw the ball to first base.
Yes.
Who's got it?
Naturally.
Look, somebody's got to get that ball. I'm going to pick it up, I throw it to first base. Somebody's got to get the ball. Who's got the ball?
Naturally.
Who's got it?
Naturally.
Naturally?
Yeah, naturally.
Oh. All right. I pick up the ball and I throw the ball naturally.
No, you don't. You throw it to who?
Naturally.
That's it.
Well, that's what I say. I get the ball and I throw it to naturally.
No, that's not what you're saying.
I'm saying the same thing you said. I pick up the ball and I throw it to who?
Yeah, you throw it to who?
I throw it to naturally.
No, you throw it to who?
Naturally.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, I pick up the ball and I throw it to naturally.
No, you throw it to who? Here, you ask me.
All right, I pick up the ball and I throw it to who?
Yeah, naturally.
All right, you ask me.
You throw it to who?
Naturally.
Yeah, you got it.
Same as you! Same as you! It's the same thing. All right, let's say I'm catching. We got a guy that gets up. He's a big hitter. We get the bags loaded. There's nobody out. So I go pick up the ball and I throw it to first base. I don't know who the heck gets the ball. He tags the bag, sends it to second. I don't know what's on second base, but he tags it, throws it to third base. I don't know who's playing third base. And all of a sudden we got a triple play, right?
Yeah, good so far.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard myself say. All right, let's say we got a big hitter that gets up. He comes up next. He hits a long fly ball to center field. Because gets it. Why? I don't know. He's on third base. And I don't give a darn. I said I don't give a darn.
Oh, he's our shortstop.
Now we can finally talk again, you know? We've been talking like that for a month and we still haven't man. Anyway, good enough. That was fun to do. A little bit nerve-wracking. Don't come up here because I smell now. Anyway, well, we need to get you a couple more of those bulletin bloopers. Barb, can you come up for those?
Now that is one hard act to follow. So I've got a couple of announcements. For those of you who have children and don't know it, we offer a nursery service during the 11 o'clock Sunday Mass. We're delighted to announce that this year at our Easter Vigil, Mrs. Bertha Lewis will come forward and lay an egg on the altar. The sermon this morning is Jesus Walks on Water. Tonight's sermon, Searching for Jesus.
Thanks a lot, Barb. It took a lot to do that with all those grandkids, you know, so that was nice of her to do that. But anyway, we put together a second video we hope you'll like. It's another 30 minutes, not like a minute, that's all. But we had our kids in the back rooms after Mass a couple Sundays ago. And Doug, if you can fire that one up. This one is, we asked the kids, what is love to you? And we had some older kids and some younger kids. This is the kids on what is love, okay? Thanks, Mark.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. We're going to be asking you today what your thoughts of love are. So I want you to tell me what you think love is. Can you do that for me?
When my grandma got arthritis, she couldn't paint her nails, but my grandfather helped her.
Gosh, that's an amazing example. John, what do you think?
Love is the first feeling you get before all the bad stuff gets in the way.
Emily?
You know, when someone loves you, the way they say your name is different. You know that you're safe in their heart.
Henry, what do you think love is?
Love is when someone does not die.
Abby?
Love is when my mom makes coffee for my dad and takes a sip first to make sure it tastes okay.
Nick, what do you think about this?
If you want to learn to love better, you want to start off with loving someone who you hate.
Very good. Asif, what do you think love is?
My mom puts on perfume and Dad puts on a shaving cone. They go and smell each other.
Tice, what do you think?
Like, give them a hug.
What do you think love is?
Cry.
No, what do you think love is? Just what do you think love is?
How do you know your mom loves you?
Because I write her love pictures.
Jordan, what do you think love is?
When you tell someone something bad about yourself and you think they won't like you anymore, but not only do they still like you, they like you even more.
That's an excellent answer.
kind of cool stuff. There's a lot of great kids in this church. It's really neat to do that. It's kind of fun. You know, when you get the kids together and they have time, when they have time together, they really have a lot of fun together. It's kind of neat. I have to kind of celebrate, too, particularly Jordan. Jordan, are you here? Because Jordan is the only young guy we have in our cast besides Ava, which I'll introduce you in the next number. But, oh, cheers, Jordan. But Jordan is a budding thespian, you know. He's the only guy I didn't have to do the underlining so you could read the words because he's so clever. Thank you, Jordan, for that. It's kind of cool. Well, now we put something together. This is again from Reader's Theater, but it's a little bit different. We got this one from Patsy also, and it's kind of a fun thing to do. And we thought we would do it like, remember the old program Laughing? Well, we're nothing like that. But anyway, Barb will be our grandma, will be our narrator, and I think we'll find out if we're ready. We're never really sure, but we'll find out. Okay, Barb? This is called, what we call it, animal jokes. Okay, just a minute.
Ready? An explorer asked his guide a question.
I would really enjoy a swim in this lagoon. Are you sure there's no alligators in there?
Go on in there because the piranhas already chased them away.
A mother and a son were talking.
Did you give your goldfish fresh water today?
No, they didn't drink all the water I gave them yesterday.
A student asked a teacher a question.
Is it true tigers won't attack you if you use a flashlight?
Depends how fast you're running with the flashlight.
A mother lion was talking to a baby lion.
What are you doing?
Chasing a hunter around the forest.
Didn't I tell you not to play with your food?
Two dogs were talking.
Hello, my name is Rex. What is your name?
I don't know. I think it's Bad Dog.
Two friends were talking.
Did I ever tell you about the time you came face to face with a lion?
No, what happened?
Oh, gosh, he was growling and clawing at the ground. I was so scared.
Well, what did you do?
I went to the elephant cage.
Two sheep were having a conversation.
Moo! What do you mean, moo? You're a sheep.
Yes, but I'm learning a foreign language.
A theatrical agent received a call from an anxious actor.
Can you use me? I know all the plays of Shakespeare by heart.
I know 10 actors who can do that.
I can play all the works of Mozart on a comb while standing on my head.
I know 20 actors that can do that.
I can dance on the ceiling while playing a harp.
Sorry, I'm not interested.
No, don't hang up. There's one thing I still haven't told you.
I can't imagine anything you can tell me that would make me want to be your agent.
I haven't told you. I'm a dog.
All right, that can't be that tough to do, right? Just for fun, that's all. Say, I see that Father Theo has a chance to arrive. I know he's busy. He probably got done with confessions. I don't know who was in there, but I don't want to ask him. Anyway, but let me come around. I think isn't this next on the agenda? Yeah, okay. If you, just for a minute, I'd like to introduce you to Ava, by the way. Ava is our staff musician. And we were looking for somebody who could do a little music, because I've been relying on Jeff, and that's been a basket case. You know. But Ava, actually, we talked about the power of prayer. If I could just bug you for a second. I was telling the cast, I said, well, I wish we had somebody, if we're going to do this ballad of Father Theo, I'd love to have somebody who could play keyboards, and my gosh, it'd be great if we had somebody who could play the drums. And I think I'd be lucky if we can get that. And I said, well, and I think somebody said, well, John, just pray for it. I go, you know, I'll do that, but I'm one of these God-up souls who help themselves. I went to lecture, and I came back from the lecturing, and I ran into Ava's mother, who said, yeah, my daughter might like to help. She said, oh, John, I wanted to have you meet my daughter, Ava. She's in the 9th grade. I said, well, Ava, I heard about you. Have you had some theatrical experience? Are you enjoying that? She said, actually, no, I really don't do much theater. I play keyboards and I play drums. Whoa! Of course, I took a knee right away, of course. All right, well, this is, we were concerned about losing Father Theo, and so we thought we better write his legacy. So we thought we would do this, and I hope you'll like it. But actually, I should tell you, I kidded about it from the pulpit when I was doing the announcement about this. But I got to tell you, what a great pastor, really. I think we're good friends. I love him to death. But when I read this to him in the office, he closed his eyes as he does. He listens to what you say. He's very attentive that way. And he just started laughing. And he said, that's pretty good. And I thought, boy, that takes to do that. Anyway, so we'll try it. All right, good enough. Let's see. Now, this is to the ballad is done to the song of Big Bad John. Now, some of you may already know that song. If you don't know it, remember it's about that big guy, the miner. The mine crashes. He holds the timber up, and remember they go, every morning at the mine you could see him arrive. Stood 6'6" and weighed 245. Kind of brought it to shoulder and narrow at the hip. But everybody knew you didn't give no lift to Big John. Well, we did that, and we did it for Father Theo. However, remember the chorus of that? Big John, Big Bad John. We're going to need that here, too. And that's where we're going to help with our musicians. But this is a piece, this ballad is written actually for lead guitar and piano, and the 100-voice men and women's alcoholic choir. So I think we have pretty much what we need here. Okay, good enough. So let's try the chorus then. The chorus, we can't do Big John. We're going to go, Father Theo, Father Theo, Theo de Cuna, oh, aha. You got to fill in the blanks with this rest, okay? Can you try it with me, okay? Ready? 2, 3. Father Theo, Father Theo, Theo de Cuna, oh, aha. Good enough, I think we got it. Good enough. Now can we get our cast on the stage to help us out? They're acting bashful. We've practiced this. We did some choreography we think you'll appreciate. It's very, very spiritual choreography. Okay, good enough. There we go. All right, and while they're doing that, let's try the chorus, and then we'll go right into the song, okay? Good enough? Can you join me, please? 2, 3. Father Theo, Father Theo, Theo de Cuna, oh, ah. Every morning at the church you could see him arrive. Stood about 5'4", about 155. Kind of brought it to shoulder, kind of narrow, got a little broader at the hip. But everybody knew you didn't give no lift to Father Theo. Father Theo, Father Theo, Theo de Cuna, ooh, ah. No one seemed to know where his home might be. Say the Lord brought him over from across the sea. Saw a bunch of his sheep that weren't doing too hot. Said, son, we better send him the best that we got. Father Theo. Father Theo. Father Theo. Theo de Cuna. Oh, ah. Some folks say he came down from a cloud, second son of God, and God smiled proud, soared down on the wings of the Holy Ghost. So when you're talking about him, you don't but toast Father Theo. Father Theo, Father Theo, Theo de Cuna, oh, ah. There was standing room only that first Sunday Mass with the choir pounding out a little classical gas. Every usher that they had formed a man-made dam holding back the mobs trying to check out the man, Father Theo. Father Theo, Father Theo, Theo de Cuna, oh, ah. But he was kind of short, all the children said. When he stood behind the altar, all he saw was a head, and he brought a little accent from the land below, so he lost a lot of seniors in the church's back rows. Father Theo, Father Theo, Father Theo, He lost a lot of people when he prayed the first time. 8 prayers to Virgin Mary, a liturgical crime. We didn't mind when he had us put our heads in a bow. But how do you renew a baptismal vow with Father Theo? Father Theo, Father Theo, So they left that mass with a woeful heart. 6 more years, and this is only the start. But with a knowing smile, he returned to his room. There was something mighty special that nobody knew about Theo. Father Theo, Father Theo, Theo de Cuna. Then came that day back in 2008, parish picnic, cursed by fate. It was raining and storming up to T-2. There was no hope left, except for you know who, Father Theo. Father Theo, Father Theo, Theo de Cuna. Parish council said, we gotta shut down. Church folk took on a pitiful frown. Children were crying, and if the truth be told, everybody thought it was the end of the road, except Theo. Father Theo, Father Theo, Theo de Cuna. The whole church gathered around the rectory door, just waiting and hoping and praying some more. When out of that door walked a black oak tree with fire in his eyes like they'd never seen. It was Theo. Father Theo, Father Theo, Theo de Cuna. He glared up at that sky with arms outlaid. You don't ever rain on my parade. Made the sign of the cross, and when he shouted, up! Rain didn't just stop, it headed back up. Because of Theo. Father Theo, Father Theo, Theo de Cuna. So the point of this story is keep your hopes high. Sure, someday we're all going to die, but when you die in our church, you don't die alone. You're going to find your pastor on the Lord's own throne, Father Theo. Father Theo, Father Theo, Theo de Cuna. To close up our program, except for our closing prayer, I turned to Ava and I said, you know what, you've got this musical wizardry. If there's a way that you could come up with a song that you think would be nice for the congregation to sing as sort of a closing prayer, that would be a real big help. So she came up with, it's called Simple Gifts, and it's a beautiful little prayer. And I thought that I pass out at your tables, and we pass out the words to this song? Who's in charge of this program anyway?
Tis a gift to be simple, tis a gift to be free, tis a gift to come down where we ought to be. And when we find ourselves in a place just right, we'll be in the valley of love and delight. When true simplicity is gained, to bow and to bend, we shan't be ashamed. To turn will be our delight, till by turning we come round right. Tis a gift to be simple, tis a gift to be free, tis a gift to come down where we ought to be. And when we find ourselves in the place just right, we'll be in the valley of love and delight. Tis a gift to be simple, tis a gift to be free, tis a gift to
Thanks a lot. Thank you, Ava, for that. It's so nice to get something spiritual. So when we all go to confession for having done this evening, we'll say, well, yeah, but we also sing Ava's song, Father. Father, would you mind, I would ask you, I've asked you, would you mind coming up just to offer us a closing prayer? We have to have something with sacredness up here, because if I just personally want to thank you for being so gracious about that busy song. I turned into a wuss. I pretty like the guy.
Good evening. Before I could conclude this beautiful time, wonderful time we spent this evening, I would like to thank John. A couple of months back, John came to me and asked, Father, can I start a drama ministry at St. Priscilla's? I never said no to anyone. So I said, John, go ahead. But I never knew within this short time you would put up a nice program like this evening. So congratulations, John, and all of you. And without you, this program would have been, nothing. So when they put up their talents, there is somebody should, give them encouragement. And we all were here to witness. And I'm sure you're going to put up more and more shows like this, John.
Unfortunately, we have some plans.
To tell you, I always liked to act in my seminary days. And most of the time in the seminary, we are not allowed to get girls, So I was the one always acting as a girl. Even just before my ordination, I had to act as it's a big drama called Galileo Galilei, wonderful English drama, and I acted in that. So when I was watching you all, I had that kind of nostalgic experience. Anyway, we have to thank God for the talents that we have got. It's not only you, we have so many youngsters. You should get encouraged by these programs. Come forward and try to put up little skits, and that will make you really one day a great actor. So John is the right person to do this. He's helping all of you. And John, I'm so glad, I'm so happy that you are part of St. Priscilla's. Thank you, John. So as a community, let us thank God. It is all God's will. We have to accept whatever God gives us. And from this little show, we learned so many things. We learned about prayer. We learned about helping each other. We learned about, praying to God and the meaning of prayer. We heard about game, everything so nice. So let us thank God and thank Him for this evening. If it was not God's will, we would not have been here. So we want to thank God for all these things. Heavenly Father, we thank and praise you. You are our Father. You are our guide. You are everything in our lives. We thank you for this evening, for the wonderful friends that we met, for the wonderful talents that we experienced through each other. Keep us ever closer to you and help us that we may love one another as you have given us this morning the commandment of love, to love you and to love our neighbor. One of the ways to love our neighbor or our brother and sister is to share our talents. So thank you, Lord, for giving us this opportunity this evening to share our talents with each other. Thank you, Lord Jesus. Thank you, Blessed Mother. We make this prayer through Christ our Lord.
Amen. Thank you, Mother. Thank you, all of you, for coming. You've just been wonderful. We have more food more than we need. Feel free to take some with you. If anybody's willing to stay back and help us clean up so we don't leave Wally and Dave with a big task tomorrow morning to get ready for bingo, we'd appreciate the help just to tear things down. Thanks a lot. Have a great evening.